So if we go up there and we want to apply the tangent and we want to use, we can rewrite this and say that this is equal to the tangent of 225 degrees plus 60 degrees, right? So you guys already understand that. Then we can just go ahead and apply the formula, which, let me see, tangent of u plus v. So we know we have a sum of two angles. So if I do the tangent of u plus v, that's equal to the tangent of u times the tangent of v, yeah, if I can remember. 1 minus tangent of u, tangent of v. Good. Right. OK, so all we're simply going to do is, I know this problem is going to take a little bit, so I'm just going to rewrite it over here. All right, so now what we're just going to do is plug in our angles. So we can say that 225 is our u and 60 is our v, just like we did over in that last example. So we have tangent of 225 times the tangent of 60 degrees divided by 1 minus tangent of 225, right, times tangent of 60 degrees. So the next thing we need to do is determine our unit circle of what is 225 degrees and what's going to be 60 degrees. Well, we know 60 degrees is going to be right up here, and that's going to have a coordinate point of 1/2 radical 3 over 2. So remember that the tangent of an angle for any angle is equal to, when you have a coordinate point on the unit circle, is y over x, right? So the tangent of 60 degrees is going to equal square root of 3 over 2 divided by 1/2. And that reduces down to the square root of 3, right? OK. Then we look at the tangent of 225 degrees. So where's that one? Well, 225, we know 180 is halfway around, plus 45 degrees is going to give you at 225 degrees. So this one's 60, and this one's 225. Everybody follow me? So let's look at the tangent of 225 degrees. That's going to be negative square root of 2 over 2, comma, negative square root of 2 over 2. And we know that answer is going to equal 1.
Wait, on top of this supposed to be tangent u plus tangent of v, not minus.
That sounds more correct. Thank you. Not working formulas, yes, that's right, because it's always plus, and then you do it's always plus on top. It's the plus, the same as the sum, and then you subtract on the bottom. Correct. So then it'd be subtract, and then be plus on the bottom. Yep. OK. So now we have our values. We know tangent of 60 degrees is square root of 3. And we know that tangent 225 degrees is equal to 1. So now let's just plug them in. So 225 degrees equals 1 plus square root of 3 all over 1 minus 1 times square root of 3. Well, obviously 1 minus square root of 3, I'll just rewrite it. 1 plus square root of 3 over 1 minus the square root of 3. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when we have a problem like this, we now know, if you get to this point, now we need to rationalize the denominator. So we need to multiply by the conjugate, which will be 1 plus the square root of 3 times 1 plus the square root of 3. So you got to multiply by the conjugate to get your radical off the bottom. Now, do you guys want me to go through the multiplication, or? OK. So the best way that I like to go through multiplication, ladies and gentlemen, is I like to use the box method. All right? It's just an easy way to make sure everything is organized. Let's actually erase this. So by using the box is really helpful when multiplying binomials. Rather than using FOIL, FOIL's fine, but I just notice a lot of students get it mixed up when using it. So this one will be for the numerator. So to do the numerator, I'm doing 1 plus radical 3 and 1 plus radical 3. And then what you do is just multiply your length times width to get the area of each box. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times square root of 3 is square root of 3. 1 times square root of 3 is square root of 3. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. And what's so helpful about this is we now know we can combine our like terms. So this is going to give us 4 plus 2 square root of 3. So we have our new numerator is 4 plus the square root of 3. And now let's do the denominator. So the denominator is a difference of two squares. We should do this fairly quickly, but let's write it out so we can see what happens. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times square root of 3 is square root of 3. 1 times negative square root of 3 is negative square root of 3. Negative square root of 3 times 3 is going to be a negative 3. Okay, here, right. And that's what we have the difference of two squares. You guys should notice that your middle terms are always going to cancel out. So really all you need to worry about doing is multiplying your first two terms and multiplying your last two terms. Therefore, you get 1 divided by negative 3, which is a negative 2. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 4 plus 2 radical 3. Sorry about that. The square root of 3 plus square root of 3 is 2 radical square root of 3. Now I can divide the negative. Square root of 3 plus square root of 3 is 2 square root of 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what's
1 plus 3. Okay? So now we can just divide the negative 2 into both those terms. Therefore, I have a negative 2 minus the square root of 3.
Why isn't the denominator negative 2?
1 plus negative 3. I combined these terms. I didn't show it. So then you get negative 2 minus square root of 3. Okay? And in your book, I believe they factor out the negative 1, but I'm going to leave it as is. Okay. So that's it.